Welcome back to the show. This is the third round of the Quiksilver Pro, the first stop on the championship tour. Well, he is psyching at the moment. Such a positive start to the season, looking really comfortable. Had a couple of years kind of hanging around, hovering around the midpoint on the ratings, as we see Griffin Colapinto wearing that knee brace, Pete. An injury suffered on a trip filming for his next feature.
Take a look at Griffin here. So smooth. I mean, that was one of the things you noticed right out of the very first heat we saw last year as a rookie. He just looked very confident and smooth. You know
Julian was looking for a 6.58, sorry, Pete, and there's a solid score dropping for Reef. It's going to get rid of the 5.17. As we see, Seth, the rookie, Seth Moniz, trying to launch something on the inside there, up against his good buddy, Griffin Colapinto.
How does that factor in when you go out with a game plan, you're kind of switching between plan A and plan B?
Yeah, I was just trying to get a couple scores going in the first 20 minutes. I love the overlapping heats. I think they're rad, and it's fun to do it somewhere besides pipe, especially here. There's so much room, like you're kind of in your own world.
Was figuring out the formula. It did feel like he was leaning on his calves a little bit too much through his first couple of years, and last year we saw him change things up. I think getting a victory over at Sunset gave him a huge confidence booster. Speaking of boosting, Griffin Colapinto, you know, with that knee brace on, it can sometimes hinder a surface mobility. That's not appearing to be the case with Griffin at the moment.
And ultimately, I think it's actually going to give him confidence.
So two judges be saying, yes, he deserved to get through the heat, and the average would come out lower.
Or to try and exert yourself and land in air in an awkward position with your knee, that's when you re-aggravate it and make it worse. So he doesn't want to do that.
This is such a fun heat. Two good buddies going at it. Seth Moniz trying to reply now. Griffin Colapinto, he will have the lead, but Seth's got a good-looking wall here.
And then look at the amount of rail used here. Drives through that. You can tell Seth has brought his energy.
We are still waiting on some scores to drop that are going to give us the requirement he needs to save himself in this third round. Right now, though, Griffin Colapinto in Heat 6 of round 3. He's going to be up against Seth Moniz here. We'll get you updated on the scores. I'm sure Julian's very aware that he is chasing a number to get himself back in this heat. As Griffin goes looking for something big on the inside section. Whips that board, hangs onto it. The strike rate is just unbelievable. We saw that yesterday in the Red Bull Airborne event. We're going to continue seeing it through the Quiksilver Pro.
All of that stuff is, he's just learned it by doing them over and over.
Well, big section standing up here for Seth. And he drives into that first section, throws his board back up into the pocket, loading up for something else on the inside, just whips his board back to the pocket. Here comes the big finish. Whips that tail.
Not going to go into his top two, but still, like I said, you know, he's in rhythm with the waves. This is the replay of Seth Moniz. This is going to be most likely into his top two. You know, he stumbled at the very end of this ride. He did, I think, pull it off.
Hasn't been taking any chances.
Watch.
This is Seth Moniz in heat number 6. Clean float to finish this one off. Gets his board back up there once again. So a close heat unfolding too in the water.
The Red Bull Airborne, he's had a very busy week here on the Goldie as we'll continue on with action. Right out in front, classic battle with Griffin Colapinto and Seth Moniz continues. Layback hack to finish on that inside section for the kid from San Clemente. Griffin and Seth Moniz, best of friends, growing up together, sharing the same sponsor. Last year, it was the Mikey Wright story. This year, it's going to be Hazelwood as we stick with action here on the left. Setting up the big backside punt into the flat. Seth Moniz trying to find a major rotation, incomplete there. So that was probably the biggest seat of his career. What just happened, Potts?
Well, have a look at that. That's exactly what just happened right there. Beautiful backside air rotation. Connects nicely with the lip. Beautiful spin. And lands in transition. That's kind of what you want to do. A little bit of a stumble right there. Great acrobatic abilities there from the young Hawaiian to pull that one off.
These guys have been dreaming of being on the stage, like rookies like Seth Moniz, where he's like, I'm finally here. And now he's up again. Just did a full road on his last left. He's got another opportunity to spin that section, but he'll go down.
Powerful nuggety surfer, isn't he? I like the fact there's no messing around with him. It's just from one maneuver to the next.
Non-stop action with the overlapping format. Colapinto, tail blow to reverse over the section. Wraps it on the corner. Fades it again and looking for an inside corner to double up. Hits in the wrap and just showing how controlled he is with his surfboard, his equipment.
That brace, you know, is it a hindrance or is it a help? Is it giving the confidence? Well, it looks like it to me. Have a look at that turn right there. A searing, slashing maneuver that he turned into a nice little spin. So Griffin Colapinto mixing it up. You could feel the heat from Seth Moniz with that 6.03. So knows now he's got to crank it back up to get that distance again. This is the maneuver we're talking about here. He goes into a carving maneuver, loses the fins out the back, and then somehow regathers the board, pulls it back under his feet, turns it into a nice little rotation. You could call that a combination of maneuvers in one turn. Hey, it's just non-stop, Joe.
This is the best part of watching pro surfing, non-stop action. Clean wrap off the top. Moniz throws the fins into reverse. Room for one more and shuts it down.
Wow. I very rarely say I feel sorry for the judges, but today I actually do. Needed some confidence under his belt. Let's have a look at Seth. Beautiful little pop right there, and then straight into that next maneuver. A difficult thing to do, to get that air reverse and get that synergy between the two turns. Gets a nice little pop, throws the tail out, spins it around, and then really has to shuffle his feet quickly to get that last turn in. So I thought he did really well to get his feet back in position for that last maneuver and make it nice and clean. Great stuff there from the young Hawaiian. Between Griffin's slashing turn, Seth's there, and Griffin up again.
I mean, when you get heats with your favorite surfers in the world, you want them to go non-stop in that 30-minute time. Colapinto just in his second year on tour, but he's accomplished a lot. A semifinal last year and a perfect 10 at Kira. Already has won the Triple Crown. And he's rolling in again. A lot of open face. Top turn wrap looking solid. Wraps it again. Bowl section. He'll just shut it down. Awkward section when you've got two waves colliding there.
Fill all the boxes. Nice turn right there. And again, searing snap right there in the pocket. And up and over the top of the whitewater. So a couple of different turns right there for Griffin. Look at this turn right here, just extending that back leg, throwing a lot of spray. Has he gotten more powerful since last year? I think so.
I think so too, Potts.
I think that extra month has done everyone wonders. A lot of guys have come on the tour this year and they're looking stronger.
And you probably never forget the ones where you got him, Potts.
Oh yeah, I remember those clears.
Griffin up and out, 2:15. Scores coming through as the judges are playing catch-up. Moniz, 6.57, 6.03.
His highest score right now, 4.70, so that's going to do wonders for him.
Non-stop action. Seth Moniz, layback draw off the top. He's down. With 12 seconds to go, Griffin does have priority over Seth. But will a wedge pop up? They've had a ton of opportunity, and we're about to shut this one down. Seth Moniz making it count in his rookie debut. Won his first round heat and getting past Griffin Colapinto, and he had to fight back with that 6.57 on the full rotation on the left, and he'll knock Griffin out of the contest.